Hello and welcome to today's Almost Daily Devotion. We're continuing in Genesis. We're in chapter 3. We're going to start with the first verse. It goes like this. The snake was the most intelligent of all the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say that you shouldn't eat from any tree in the garden?" The woman said to the snake, "We may eat the fruit of the garden's trees, but not the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden. God said, 'Don't eat from it, and don't touch it, or you will die.'" The snake said to the woman, "You won't die. God knows on the day you eat from the tree, you will see clearly, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The woman saw the tree was beautiful with delicious food, and the tree would provide wisdom. So she took some of its fruit and ate it, and also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then they both saw clearly and knew they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made garments for themselves. Now, I had a youth many years ago in my youth group who loved to use this story to get my goat. Whenever he wanted to give me a little bit of a, just wanted to annoy me a little bit, as teenagers do, he would bring this up. Well, if Eve hadn't eaten the apple. If Eve hadn't eaten the apple, everything would be fine. We wouldn't have to pick up after ourselves, whatever it was that day. And, it's funny, but it's also not funny. Because, again, it's been one of those things that has been used over time as a punishment, as a reason to punish women or think that they're less than or they're inherently tricky or inherently evil. You'll notice that some of the other heroines of the Bible that we lift up tend to be women who are manipulative. We talk about Jezebel, who tricks her husband into killing her enemies. We talk about Bathsheba. We talk about Herodotus. We talk about all of these women. We lift them up as if they're the only examples of women in the Bible, as if they're not equally met by Ruth and Esther and Mary Magdalene. And we conveniently forget that there are some men in the Bible who do some pretty terrible things. It turns out that sin is a pox on both their houses, that women and men are equally implicated in the sin problem. Because did you notice that Adam was standing right next to Eve the whole time? Adam was with her when the snake was talking to her. It wasn't as if Adam was neutrally, innocently off lollocking in the creek somewhere, and Eve got tricked by the snake and ate the apple, and then Adam came along all righteous, and then, what did you do? They were both standing there when the snake was talking. They were both tempted by that tree. They both wanted to be like God. They wanted to be someone other than who they were. They wanted more. They weren't satisfied with a garden full of plants and animals and trees and gorgeousness. They needed the one thing they couldn't have, which was to be like God. And both of them were tempted by the snake, and both of them ate of the fruit, which was probably a pomegranate, by the way. They're both implicated in this. All of humanity is implicated in this. There are evil people of all stripes. Our gender doesn't have anything to do with it. It turns out we are all susceptible to temptation. We are all desirous of what we don't have. We all want to be God in our lives. We're just not. We don't get that burden. So next time you're tempted to believe that you are less than someone else, that you are worse than someone else, just remember that both people were standing there in the garden. Both versions of humanity are covered in sin. Both ate the pomegranate. So you're not any worse than anybody else. You're not any better than anybody else either. All have sinned. All have fallen short of the glory of God. And be careful of people who use stories to make you less than that. Less than fully human. God bless.